everybody. Good evening. Is that the original Hoctaw in the room already? Don't even have my head in the game yet. Just got here. I've been doing some work, dealing with some problems, life, trying to get my head into this game. And I am not there yet. What kind of night are we going to have? What are we going to do? You know what? The first thing we're going to do is eliminate this thing right here. This area right here. It's been bothering me for some time. We're just going to start. We're just going to eliminate the problem. Okay. I do not like that shape as it was. And I instantly like it better. Okay, we're off to a good start. We're accomplishing things already. Let's see if we can not get banned by TikTok tonight. Hmm? That'd be great. Not really in the mood to be judged by artificial intelligence at the moment. Being told I'm naughty, something like that, by a non-sentient being. It's not the kind of night I'm into. I'm into finding my creative groove, feeling at peace with the world, feeling at peace with myself. That's the kind of night I'm into right now. Yeah. What about you guys? You down for that? Down for a super cool night? Make some art. Feel good about our cognition. Feel good about ourselves. Who we are, what we do, what we're doing. Not that we even have to do anything. I don't know, I think we're obsessed with doing stuff. Don't have to do. Not all the time. Obviously, we have to do some of the time. But maybe we just chill, just for now. I'm exploring a new aspect of myself. I've never been much into drapery or clothing. I mean, to be honest, as an artist, I feel that a model wearing, say, a little bit of clothes is perverse. A model wearing no clothes is not perverse. It's art. So I was always bothered by a little bit of clothes. Bothered me. Felt like that was perversion. More so than, you know, nude and artistic. So there has been some specific artists that have done sculpture with drapery that I truly admire those. So I'm trying to find that zen place. Trying to find that creative place. Really embrace the drapery as an aesthetic element. As much of art as the human form in the first place. You know what I mean? It's a muscle. It's a muscle I have to contract. It's not my natural state. My natural state is to do pretty much just exclusively nudes. So. We're growing. How's the audio coming through for you guys? Can you hear all right? Anybody want to give me some feedback on my feedback? Is the audio working? Is it the right level? A lot of activity out there. Not seeing any actual chatting. Somebody say hello. I'm feeling lonely in the dark. Somebody say hello. Try this. See if this will help me get in there. Delicate lines. Thursday, we made it through. Everybody give us some feedback. How was your Thursday? Can you guys hear me at all? So far, I have absolutely no indication that you guys can even hear my voice. Looks like it. Video feedback of the audio looks like my voice is coming through. Anybody have any thoughts on our artwork here? What we're doing? Input, feedback, thoughts, feelings. Goodness. A lot of people in the room. Is there something wrong with me that I can't see anybody chatting? Am I doing something wrong? Oh, there we go. Yeah, that was weird. It wasn't showing me the chat. You guys are chatting. Sorry. I see the chat now. Thank you. Yes, that was, I don't know what was going on. I went over and clicked the button. Now I can see chat. Thank you for your feedback. You all been giving me all kinds of feedback. I didn't even know it. Thank you. Literally Beau in the dark. We're just chatting away. Yeah. Like most apps, it needed to be clicked. Everything needs attention. Needed one more clicking before it was going to do its job. We're on track now. Gonna get back on that creative track. I'm not thinking about technology. Just trying to get into the flow. Try to get into the now. Just then. When was that? Just now. Anybody know what that movie's from? Thank you, Kim Smith. Well, I don't know if there's such a thing as usually. I've been diddling on this girl through January, but it's just a few hours here and there. Nothing consistent. I got sick for a week. I did the math last night, so I guess with last night's stream, I've probably been doing this about 35 hours. Is she anyone I know? No, I mean, it's entirely imagination. I mean, she does honestly have a striking resemblance to my wife in some ways. Not always, but in some ways. I think, you know, people around you affect you. You know, that movie, Shakespeare in Love, where they came up with these scenarios that affected Shakespeare's work in his daily life. But that being said, no, there's no specific model. Thousands of models I've had before, I guess. I get the Medusa feedback a lot because of the hair. I did do a Medusa recently. You can see, if you go to my profile, you'll see a painting I did of Medusa. Actually, I'm curious, you know, since you seem to resonate with Medusa. Take a look, tell me what you think. Of the Medusa painting. Thanks, Steve C. Appreciate it. You like the Medusa painting? Nice, thank you. Yeah, time. I don't know. I get kind of stoic about time. You know, the minutes we're marching towards when we have no time. Time doesn't exist. Actually, I really like the Gandalf line from Lord of the Rings. All we can do is choose what to do with the time that is given to us. Kind of heavy, right? Koro Sensei, back again. Hello. Good to see you. Last night while we were streaming, I did a little head math. I think this is about 35 hours probably into this girl. Thank you, VR Vic. Appreciate it. Armature, yes. There is a significant armature in here. I will demonstrate. This, let's see what camera angle are we at. This is the armature. 5/16 steel, all thread. Your entire skeleton is made of it. The very first night was basically a strongman competition where I was bending that thing into shape. It was a bit gnarly. It was a gnarly night. Too much money? No, this is not too much money. I mean, a little bit of money. I've got probably about 30 pounds of clay in here, 2 pieces of plywood, and the armature. Probably not too much money. I mean, maybe. Clay comes in at 4.5 pounds, I think, per package. I'm going to cast this in bronze, yes. And I'm going to try to do as much of that process as I can on stream. Or if I can't stream it, I'll just video and post. So yes, this whole thing is gonna get. Thank you. Bob Ross is he's the king. Yeah, I'm gonna, one way or another, document the entire process all the way to metal. That's the plan. Just realized I am messing up right now. This needs to, this is a whole different shape I should be doing right here. There we go. Oh yeah. That's the shape. I'm embracing the drapery, even though it's not my normal. The abstraction of it. Yes, the armature. I was just demoing the armature. It's steel. It's a 5/16 armature steel armature. So she is going nowhere. She's wobbly, right? Because this thing weighs 30 pounds. You can see she's not completely stationary, but she's going nowhere. She's attached via significant steelage. I think early when I was sculpting traditionally, I had an experience where I made a subpar armature, and it just really ruined my day. You know, and ever since then, if anything, I overdo armature. In this case, I'm not sure I really overdid it though, because this clay has really added up to be pretty heavy. It's, like I said, like 30 pounds of clay, so. I'm not sure if 5/16 steel was actually overdoing it. You like the back? Thank you. Give it a spin. Oh, that's the front. There's the, well, there's her backside, and there we go. There's her back. Yeah. Thank you. Let's drink to her back. I drink to your leg, you drink to my leg. Constant movie quotes in here, by the way. It's about 35 hours approximate I put onto this girl. Various ways. The armature was a failure the first night. I used a thicker armature at first, 3/8 inch. And I broke it in my hands. Got a little too strongman-y, and that made me upset. And I started streaming, and I drank, and I cussed. Then I came back with 5/16 steel the second night, started over. I really like the all thread though, because the threads actually interlace. You know, when the threads like interlock, so that when you put wire on it, they're kind of glued together or welded together without any weld or anything like that. So that when you put wire on it, you just throw like a little bit of JB weld, it's going nowhere. It is locked. Okay. What needs to be worked on? The bird needs to be worked on the most. I am completely bird avoidant. I need to be working on the bird. I am not bird working. It's because I don't completely have the vision yet of what it's going to look like. That being said, I mean, I do know it's going to be like a phoenix, so I'm not going to be modeling individual feathers. It's going to be like flames. I have my works on my website, beau.art. You can check it out there. I've got some stuff on the TikTok store, and then I've got the originals and prints at beau.art, if you want to check it out. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. We're all glad we're here. It's a love fest. Oh. Could just take it easy for a second, work on a foot. Clean up my mess a little. his toes. It's very delicate. It's sticking out, and I keep hitting it. I went to Pratt Institute in Brooklyn, New York. Studied fine art there. Yes, I did. So long ago. I had a pretty good experience overall. I got to do human dissection while I was there to learn anatomy over at Columbia Medical School. And there we go. TikTok has restricted me because it thinks I'm a dirty man. Love it. I'm really tired of TikTok calling me sexually explicit. Not sure what that means, if it's going to limit the amount of exposure, how many people can see me, or if it's just going to say you have to be 18, which I actually have it set to 18 only before I streamed. I'm a father myself. Oh, wow. Jeez, Goose Lady, you're making me feel good about myself. Shotgun Panda. It's a good name. It's a very good name. Thanks for coming. You know, with the kind of lives we all live, I mean, why would you engage in social media like this other than like finding people that are not in your daily life who you have some kind of resonation with, some kind of room is heating up. Yeah, where you've got something, somehow you resonate with these people, what they're saying and doing, thinking, sharing. I mean, we're all aliens on this spaceship flying around the sun, you know. The other day I was talking to my son and I said, you know, kind of life and family is like a road trip. You know, who do you want to be in the car with for a long period of time? You know, that's how I view being a father anyway. I want my kids to want to be on a road trip with me. You know, metaphorically speaking, 30 years from now. So I'm relaying that back to you. You know, you're here tonight, you're chilling, you're investing yourself, you're giving me you. And that is pretty cool. You're giving me the biggest gift you have. You. You're sharing you with me. I don't take that for granted. Anybody would want to invest time in their limited amount of time in this road trip in space. Here, watching me do this. That's pretty cool. Wondering if I put like Barbie doll clothes on this thing, if the TikTok would leave me alone. Stop harassing me for nudity. Seems a bit childish, right? You do need a sip of this wine. This is Cooper's Hawk. Let's see what camera we're on. Cooper's Hawk. Well, switching cameras. There we go. Cooper's Hawk wine. It's a red blend. Let's see, I have my cheat sheet here. Where'd my cheat sheet go? Let me tell you about this Cooper Hawk blend I'm reading. I'm drinking. It is California. It is black cherry, blackberry, tobacco, vanilla, and pepper. They claim it's very versatile. Anything from chicken to steak. I would agree. You know, normally I would think blend. Well, I want a blend. I want the whole thing. I want pure, but this is a nice blend. Blend. You know, Goose Lady and everyone else listening, I'm gonna give it a trick. I'm gonna give it a try. A little trick I've done. I'm gonna stop the stream and I'm gonna restart it because then TikTok won't have me labeled as naughty boy. So if you're around, come back. Yeah. Thank you, JT. Yeah, come back in just a second, all right? I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna stop. I'm actually gonna go take a break. Come back. Just a second. That didn't work. I gotta go do a manual. Ginger Coke. What's up? Jeffro Bodine, very nice name, Jeffro Bodine. It's a good name. Max Baer was that actor's name. Played Jethro Bodine. Strange little factoid I got in my head. goodness, all kinds of people all of a sudden. Hello, everybody. Yeah, no. Caress the archer's foot here a little bit. Full video of this. Well, that's a good question. I am streaming to YouTube. Not a lot of activity over there, but it's all archived. So if you go to Beau in the Dark TV with underscores between the words, you'll find this entire process all the way back to armature. If you are so inclined. Yeah, I don't think TikTok does any kind of, what do you call it? Archiving. Do you like this clay? I do like this clay. It's a mid-grade clay. I didn't buy super expensive stuff. It's a mid-quality clay, but it's Roma Plastilina. That's nice. It is nice. Uncanny Valley. My goodness, do you make robots? So no, you do not fire this clay. It's an oil-based clay called Roma Plastilina. If you fired it, would melt. So when I'm done, I'm gonna cast it. I'm gonna make a silicon mold, and then I will cast it in resin first, and then I will cast it in wax. Using the wax, I will make a hydrocal plaster mold, and from that I can then pour bronze and then break the plaster around it off when it cools. That's the plan. Wow, you want to pose for a sculpture, you know? You are welcome. I don't know. You can just text me. Let's start a conversation. I'd like getting new and interesting models. If you want a model, send me a text on the a DM on TikTok. Why, thank you. Do I teach classes? I don't have any courses per se. What you're watching right now. I'm just talking through it. Just kind of talking through my experience here. Nice. But like a Zoom or in person? Yeah. So I'm about to get a larger studio space. I'm here in Kansas City. Which sounds a little weird. You might be like, Kansas City? Why Kansas City? I'll tell you why Kansas City. Well, I'm from the Midwest, and then I lived in Los Angeles for 20 years. I worked on movies. And COVID came along, and I said, no. I'm not going to spend quarantine in Los Angeles. So we moved to Kansas City, where I'm from. And it's the reason I'm telling this story is I am going to move. This is the basement of my house, but I'm going to move to a bigger studio here in a couple months. and may very well have classes if you happen to be in the area, but you know, obviously streaming is an option too. It's going to be an interesting experience. Actually, it's going to be a nightclub, art gallery, and then during the day, there'll be space upstairs I'm using for studio space. Partner with a couple of associates I have here. I'm looking forward to it, actually, a lot. So we're coming up with some pretty cool streaming aspects of that experience as well. MFA student, focused on sculpture, and always wanted to do bronze. Yeah, absolutely. I feel you. I did not get to do bronze when I was in school. They had it there. Thank you. I did not. My focus was, I did as much fine art as I could, but my focus was professionally on computer graphics, which at the time was very mysterious. This is actually not that long after Jurassic Park came out, so it's a very, very new, mysterious, exciting thing to be in computer graphics in the 90s. And, you know, now I'm much more into, let's get back to the roots. You know? Let's get back to the value. Which is not, for me, necessarily computer graphics. Not that I don't love it. But it's not my current place where I'm getting rejuvenated. Rip Van Winkle. My goodness. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. Like I was saying earlier, you know, all that any of us have is ourselves to invest. So I take it very serious that you guys are choosing to invest you, yourself, and your time in spending it with me. That is honestly profound to me, that you guys are making that commitment, or just that investment. And I'm hoping that I'm fulfilling a value to you at the same time. Because we is all we got. Ourselves and our time, our minutes here on earth. To spend them with somebody, to be present. Big deal. Right? What inspires me? I would say necessity. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess in order for me to answer that question, I have to give you a little bit of me history. I spent about 2 years, well, a year and a half. I spent a year and a half in Tokyo working for Toyota on autonomous cars. And it's a phenomenally lonely place. It's a whole different existence, honestly, to be there. Biggest city in the world. Amazing, 35 million people. And you can't imagine the level of isolation, honestly, that is inherent in being there. So, during that time, it was, I needed to find me. I needed to find, where I wanted to spend my time, who I wanted to be, in the silence of my own head. Where was that going to be? And so I kind of, that's when I started reinvesting in figurative arts to stay sane, to stay me. And I came back and said, I think that, you've probably heard of the hero's journey. I feel traumatized, goodness gracious. In the hero's journey, the hero goes deep and finds the whatever it is, the Excalibur, whatever, and brings it back to the light. For me, I realized it was finding that this is who I am. I need to be doing figurative art. Yeah, I do drawing and painting, sculpting. Traditionally, like I was saying earlier, my career previously was digital. And I'm much, as of right now, happier doing this. Well, thank you. I have also made art to date. Yes, zombie, huge GZ. Or zombie hugs, there, maybe that's what it is. I like it. Yes, I made art today. I love that. I love that you led with that. I have made some art to date. I have made some art to date. Goose Lady's back. Thank you for coming back. After my little runaway there. You draw amateurs. What does that mean, you draw amateurs? You draw other people that are amateurs? What do you mean you draw amateurs? Please clarify. I would consider commissions. I mean, it's got to really work for me. I've got to have a client that I could work with, be like, that I could find it, So I think as soon as you say that, I think of Madam X by John Singer Sargent, one of the most prolific portrait artists in history. And it was a big deal. Madam X was I forgot the actual subject's name, but she was high profile. And he did little things like had her shoulder strap falling off her shoulder, and became a scandal, big deal. Ruined his career actually in, where was he? France, I think. He had to go back to England. So yeah, you gotta find the right client. But ironically, in old age, she became defined by that painting and was very proud of it. But at the time, even her mother paid Singer Sargent to go back and change the painting to make it slightly less suggestive, because she was so appalled, mostly by the social outcry. How's it standing? I don't know, Russell Crowe sculpted. I hope you mean the young Russell Crowe, because he ain't looking so good these days. But I guess that's a thank you. There's a metal armature in here, 5/16 steel, all thread. going throughout her body. To answer your query. That angle's not right. Allowed myself to not see. Yo, dude, you have the username 1? You must have gotten that a long time ago. Can't imagine that was be a easy profile name to acquire. Let's give a little girl this lateral head to her fibula. Ain't making it. Am I from Texas? No, I am originally from the Midwest. Missouri. Trying to say I have an accent. Oh, you're in Arkansas. Oh. You're from close by. Thank you. DC? Okay. What's it like in DC right now? I'm into DC in years. Actually, I don't think I've been to DC since I was in art school. In the 90s. Nice. Cry the Kitty. Cry the Kitty. Dude, I think I get just as much amusement about people's names on here. It's freaking awesome. Cry the Kitty is a fantastic name. Thank you for your compliment, and thank you for showing up. That is Japanese, and it would take me way too long to translate that. That's gone already. Learned a little. Well, I learned hiragana and katakana when I lived in Japan. Did not really broach the dreaded kanji. That is one messed up. I say messed up, I guess it's a judgment statement, but man, from an outsider, that is a messed up one. I've been working on this girl for approximately 35 hours. I don't often objectify the figure singularly, you know, I kind of take it all in for what it is. But this part that I'm working on right now is called the soleus, and it basically part of the calf. It laces underneath the gastrocnemius, which is what you'd think of as the calf muscle. And for some reason, it's just a very elegant shape, especially on beautiful women. Like this, I mean, actually, honestly, it's kind of elegant and beautiful on all women. It's just this really unique shape, the way it curves around the back of the tibia, laces underneath the gastrocnemius. It's a very delicate shape. Very careful one. Trying to sculpt it. It's easy to get wrong. Thank you. I use petroleum jelly. When you do that, you work the surface, you get a little bit warm with your body temperature, malleability, increases plasticity. Sculpture kind of becomes massage, right? When you're getting into the fine tuning, you're working out the knots, you're finding the muscle structure, you're working it, not breaking it down, but caressing it, shaping it. It becomes a lot like massage. Have you seen Struggle? Like life? Oh, I have. Yeah, I've seen Souza Lesky, that guy. Yeah, I've seen that documentary. Right. The question earlier, what clay? This is Roma plastilina, an oil-based clay, which is why the petroleum jelly works. Dude, I am very glad to hear that this is relaxing. That's kind of my goal. I think I realized, I like intensity and I like energy and excitement. And when I was first starting to streaming, but I say that like a long time ago, it was only a few months ago, I was trying to increase the energy of the stream, get high energy, and then I realized, it's not the right move. It's not what this wants to be. This wants to be a comfortable place. You can see how I'm working it like I'm massaging her. Soleus is not quite shaped right, but I will get it there. Like I was saying earlier, it's a very delicate shape. This is a Rome plastilina, which is very forgiving in that it doesn't dry out. So I would recommend Roma for starting, because you can just keep working it forever. It's never going to dry out, and you don't have to deal with water and wrapping it in cloth at night or anything like that. It's not archival. Aroma is temporary medium, so if you want it to last, you've got to cast it. But I think for a beginner, I think you need to embrace the ephemeral nature of it. Like, this is sculpture may not last forever unless I invest the time in the casting and molding, and just be like, this is now. The sculpture is now, I am now, this is all in the now. I'm not sitting here thinking about 1,000 years from now or anything else. I'm thinking about right now. Monster clay. I don't know what monster clay is. As far as tips, I would say just get some clay and get in there. I mean, be aware of yourself. I think being aware of self is the number one thing no matter what you're doing, right? Your skill or trade. I call it the active observer. When you're sculpting or drawing, you're just constantly, you're not in your own mind. You're not the person drawing. You're participating in the drawing. The drawing is elucidating itself. You are the active observer in the drawing. Allows you to keep a perspective, a fresh perspective on yourself at all times. I will get the soleus eventually. That's the best view, the one right now? You like that view? Hello, Ivy Island. What's up? Thank you for joining. Oh, Boombody. Hey, what's up, man? Sorry, I just noticed that over there. You're gonna feel all neglected again, get sassy and give me crap. What's up, man? This is about 35 hours at this point on this girl. Let's see. That's a lot. I just put a little too much on there, but we'll work it. We'll work it. Like I said, at this point, sculpting is like massage. Just finding the shapes and working them. Not trying to destroy anything, just work it. I won't this time. I've still got at least one more night of leniency from the Bombate. Wow, that's right up there when I tell my wife that it's okay because she's pretty. Because now I know what that feels like. Another meeting with our nightclub friends tomorrow. Looking forward to that. I think some interesting developments, and I think they're actually starting to understand who I am. Kind of got a little excited. They started sending me these like 3D animations that they'd seen. Can you do this? You know, creating these immersive experiences. I'm like, yeah, yes, I can. Thank you, Ivy. It's like I've actually been trepidatious about them really understanding my work history because I want them to, because they came to me wanting to make an art gallery, and I'm like, they see what I've done in the past, they're gonna want to start going that direction. So like, you know, this guy's like, you worked on the first Harry Potter? I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I did. That's all they wanted to talk about after that. That's great. Okay. I've done time lapses of the drawings and the paintings. I've never done time lapse of the sculpting. I might. I mean, I've got all this footage saved. But back to that previous conversation, little buddy. It's I will admit, it's better to be loved than ignored. So, you know, while I'm being sassy, it's better than being ignored. Wow, I guess I found the algorithm. I don't know what that means, but thank you. I guess it's a compliment. I don't know. You found the algorithm. Is that like a Matrix reference? All I see is blonde, brunette, redhead. It's way too much data to decode the Matrix. Booze time. Here we go. Ah, you found artist not hay, yes. In which case, yes, you may have solved the riddle of the Sphinx. Thank you. You guys just need to vote with old TikTok there, because they keep trying to label me as perverse. Every once in a while I get this like sexual content flag. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. With all the ridiculously nasty things on social media, you want to flag this as sexual content? You gotta be kidding me. So write your governor, write your senator. Although, I mean, I haven't been doing this very long, but as far as streaming, I mean, but the response has been fantastic. So I think that alone probably affects the algorithm, as it were. I actually don't think that they use particularly intelligent image detection when it comes to things like the content. I think they're actually monitoring the chat. So I've noticed when I have been flagged for sexual content, it was soon thereafter when someone in chat said something sexual. And it's usually, I think, the trigger. Her hand is going to be holding a phoenix-like bird. There's a bit of a storyline there. Do you care to take a stab at what that is? What do you think the narrative is? And I'll give you a hint. Take a look at her other hand before you try to solve that. See if I can get this around here so you can see her other hand. Well, where is it? There you go. You can kind of see her other hand there. She's holding a knife. This is going to go to bronze, yes. Yes, they have my number. Yeah, this is going to go to bronze. I'm going to make a resin probably at first, just to test the whole process, and then come back and make a mold out of a hydrocal, very hard type of plaster. And then use that to pour in bronze. And then you break the back, cast off. So no, this is an oil-based clay. It's not air drying. This will never dry. It's oil-based. So for archivalness, for final product, it has to be cast in mold. What's going on with you, bum body? Tell me something. Have you made chainmail today? Well, this is kind of an internal inspiration, if you will. You know, sometimes I just get quiet and start working and see what happens. In this case, you just can't, when you do that, you can't help not being you. And so this is a piece about reincarnation, self-actualization. And it's kind of honestly, it's the theme of most of my work for the last little bit. Self-actualization. You're still jelly cube. Nice. I was thinking of birds. Yes, I like your answer better. Just keep it simple, man. I was thinking about some birds. And, you know what goes good with birds? Naked ladies. Yeah, naked ladies go good with birds. No, that was not my thought process at all, but I like it. Probably the most fragile part of the whole sculpt right here is this foot, because it doesn't have a significant internal structure. It does have a wire going through it, but it's not as thick and strong as the rest of the piece. I put about 30, well, I guess I'm going with tonight, so 36 maybe hours into this thing. Gamer Daddy, that's a good name. Some new bracelets. Very nice, very nice. We're gonna definitely figure out how to get the Boom Body wears into the new club, gallery, studio thing-a-ling I'm making. This is a lot like foot massage right now. I feel like I'm giving a tiny woman a foot massage. Called her a thing. That's a good point, calling her a thing, right? Because in my mind, right, I think maybe there was an irony in calling it a thing, because in my mind, this is, I very much emoted, I very much empathized and connected with. I think there's a healthy boundary, you know, in the mind of an artist of like maintaining that this is clay. Because otherwise you go full on Pygmalion, right? Falling in love with inanimate objects, mass hysteria. There we go. This is actually, I like what I'm doing right now because I'm not looking at it, I'm literally just feeling the shapes. It's kind of fun. It's a different type of sculpture I've never actually engaged in. Like blind sculpting, I don't know, that's kind of cool. That could be fun. I think we breathe some kind of life into these kinds of things we create. Well, absolutely. I mean, the life, I mean, what is life, right? Everything's in the eye of the observer, so the Hindu philosophy of Maya, M-A-Y-A, is that reality as we know it is literally a projection of the eye, the observer. So, from that point of view, so are other people. Kind of connection with some of the young concepts that all people are you because you're projecting you onto all people. Therefore, by definition, everyone you meet is you because you have no choice. Same thing with the art. You're connecting with it. Yeah, this is kind of some experimental jazz I got going on back here. Not classical per se, but yeah, I get your point. Thank you. Definitely some sultriness to the process I'm going through right now of caressing this like it's a massage. More so than sculpture. And it's starting to get there actually. Shapes are coming out. I don't know that I have this tibialis anterior the way I'd like it. Give her a little bit of a definition right there. Tibialis anterior is a muscle that sits on the tibia, anterior meaning front, goes down the front of the foot, actually laces up and over that front ridge, goes down into the arch, right like that. Creates that mass in the front of your shin. It's responsible for lifting your foot upwards. back to the massage, I feel like I found a knot, like a muscle knot in the bump in the clay that's not quite right. So I'm going to work it like I'm massaging her and just work it into a smooth surface. Running the sculpture about 35 to 6 hours, something like that. A little math last night, that's why that answer's on the tip of my tongue. Howard Sternum? Are you the Howard Sternum? What's going to be in her hand? This is going to be a bird, Phoenix. I'm looking forward to the day when I get that to the point that people don't ask that question. Because it's obvious. That is not to date. Today it still looks like a weirdo thingy. That's going to be, in this hand, it's going to be a bird. In this hand is going to be a knife. There is a significant armature holding this lovely lady up in the air, made of 5/16 all thread steel. And that's what keeps her up. This feels like living to me. You're right, you know? Sometimes it is the thing I look forward to at the end of the day. I've got some of my 2D art, paintings and drawings. I guess you really can't see much on the stream right now on TikTok, but on my site, Beau.art. I think I've got some of it is on my TikTok store. You can see it, just go to Beau.art, you can see it. See more of it anyway. Get a lot of compliments on the back, so thank you. I don't know, is somebody being immature? I would consider commissions. You know, I haven't delved into that too much, but I would consider it. Especially if it's, you know, someone I resonated with, like commonality of vision. You know, at this point in my life, I gotta feel that. You know what I mean? Like I just can't do it if I don't feel it. So, yeah, that's why he had something in mind that really worked for me. I would totally consider a commission. It would be pretty close to impossible for this to tip over. I mean, I got it's 2 foot wide base, top of a pretty substantial, this thing weighs about 35 pounds probably, steel rotary table. And then she is attached to it with 5/16 steel at 2 points. So it's going nowhere. Does it have holes? I don't know what that means. Probably not going to answer that. Wow, thank you. Telling me you were emotionally affected by it. I appreciate that a lot. That was, I mean, that's the goal. I mean, I hope that, especially if you invest the time to understand the narrative, first of all, art's got to work in the first less than 1 second that you see it. If it doesn't work in that time period, it's not going to work later, right? It doesn't matter how much narrative or thoughtfulness is involved. If it doesn't work in the first millisecond, it's not going to work in the first minute. So, thank you. And it sounds like you're saying it is working for you immediately. But I'm also hoping to achieve some cognitive activity. People are excited about the thoughts once they do start engaging in the narrative, which I don't know whether you have or not. This is not going to get fired. This is going to get cast. Make a mold of it and cast it. What are you using to sculpt this? Well, it's aroma plastilina, oil-based clay. If that's your question. Which means it will never cure, harden, and dry out. It also means it will never be final or archival and has to be cast. Molded and cast into another material. I'm calling this the Hand of Fate. All right, well, thank you for chilling out. Appreciate you sacrificing sleep to hang out with me. It's like I was saying earlier, the only gift any of us have is ourselves and our time. So you've given me a big gift by being here. I appreciate it. Thank you. There we go. I got the structure in there. You like the horns? I like it as if I stand in the middle here, I have horns. I like that someone picked up on that. Thank you, Goose Lady. You made my night. Well, I spent many years studying anatomy. I got a pleasure, I got a benefit, I got a great opportunity when I was in school. I got to dissect humans at Columbia Medical School in New York. And that was just, in addition to my previous anatomy studies. So, you know, not just the morphology or shape of muscles in the body, which is what, you know, an artist normally gets with the superficial, but got to really see how it is underneath. Now, that being said, it's cadaver. Cadavers are not living humans. So there's a big difference between a cadaver and a living human. But it was a fantastic experience. So, yeah, I spent a little time studying anatomy. But while working, absolutely, I still look at reference. You know, I still try to maintain a naivety. Don't pretend like I know everything. I think that, you know, when you do start convincing yourself you know stuff, is when you're wrong. In this case, I think I made a lot of stylization choices, and that's a choice too. You know, I chose to deviate from reality. I mean, it's not just such a matter of like fitness or thinness or whatever. No human being is going to look like her, right? Because she is stylized. On purpose, you know, by choice. I mean, for me, like literally getting a model and posing her like this and doing a 3D scan, not that exciting for me or interesting. Taking the awareness of the figure and creating essentially an art, which is just in my mind, or my belief, art is really just a communication between essentially me and you. You know, creating an experience inside of your mind as the observer. That is the art. Everything up until that point is just tactical and logistical. The art is what happens in your mind as the observer when you look at it. That's the moment of art. Yeah, this is Roma plastilina, so oil-based clay. Maddie, is that you? Is that you, Maddie? Is that my Maddie? Are you my Maddie? Are you my Maddie? You might be my Maddie. Yes, from now on, I will refer to you as my Maddie. TikTok's back on the App Store, so you got to reinstall. Yeah, I haven't seen you posting lately. I feel like there's a song that needs to happen there called My Maddie. It's kind of folk. Yeah. Some kind of folk. Oh, no. Just noticed. It's not the shape I want right there. What am I drinking? I'm drinking Cooper Hawk Red Blend. Where are we here? Where's the camera? There we go. Red Blend from Cooper Hawk. Yeah, now I'm enjoying the hell out of it. Blackberry, tobacco. Let's see. Let's take a look at my cheat sheet. Black cherry, blackberry, tobacco, vanilla, and pepper. At least that's what they call it. I just call it damn good. Indeed. All right, let's just take a pause. Let's take a step back. What are we doing now? What shall we do next? I spent basically the whole night diddling her foot and ankle, which I'm not really happy with, but I'm gonna leave it for now and come back. And back to my philosophy of the active observer. Leaving and coming back are very important towards cultivating an active observer, right? Because right now this is very imprinted in my mind and I have a conception of it. But if I ignore it, when I come back next time, I'll see it again for the first time. And that's the moment. That is the most important moment. Like the first time you see a piece of art from a distance, the first time, first millisecond, that's what matters. And when you're creating, you're staring at it for a long period of time, so you lose that. The only way to get it back, leave. Leave and come back. Yes, this is going to be a phoenix, this bird up here. And very soon there's going to be time to start phoenixing so that people can understand that, but it's also time. Like I've been holding off a long time. I've been rather tantric with the phoenix, as it were, holding off on engaging in phoenix play. But it's getting close to time to make my bird. You just noticed the horns? Nice. Yeah, Goose Lady said something about that earlier. Yes, that was, I don't know, happy accident, I guess. I can't say intentional, but happy accident. When I put the horns, or when I put the camera there and saw that it put the horns behind my head, I'm like, yep, that's what we're doing. That's gonna stay right there. Thank you for noticing. Now I can't unsee it. Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm glad. I hope it lives up to your imagination when you see it. I mean, I'm gonna finish it right here. It's all gonna happen right here in front of you. If you're willing to invest your time and returning, coming back, you're gonna see it. It's gonna happen. It will happen. Right here. I'm getting a lot of commentary on the back, so thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I did put effort into that. The back is very complicated because of the moving structure. Basically our arms and everything are not in any way attached to the rest of our skeleton by any kind of bony connection. And the only point where they're actually connected at all right here is where the clavicle sits on the sternum. Otherwise, everything is floating. So let's see, find an angle here that you guys are looking at. Yeah, so, well, no, this is where the camera changing is being a problem. Yeah, so we have compression on this side, and we have extension on this side. So this scapula is all the way over here. The scapula is compressed in. So the trapezius is compressed. Here, the trapezius is stretched. You can see I kind of put a little indication of what's called the rhomboids. They sit right there. They contract the scapula in, so I've got it stretched a little bit right there. The trapezius compressed, edge of the scapula there. Teres major coming in here underneath the latissimus, right? Infraspinatus, supraspinatus. And then this side, trapezius, is a little compressed as well. A lot going on in the back, you're right. And a lot of overlapping structures. So I'm a big fan. I might have done a little too pronounced. I like bringing the underlying structures through, especially on the back. So like the ribs, the serratus posterior, and the ribs, I like bringing it through on the back, showing the underlying structure, not just the superficial. You know, like this, normally if you were like just being very anatomist, this would be mostly latissimus dorsi here, but I like, especially on, you know, thin people, anybody, but even me, like, got a little muscle and a little fat. You know, if I were to make that shape, I have my shirt on, but you would see the ribs underneath the latissimus. haven't worked on this part for a while, so it's kind of solidified a little bit, hardened up a little bit, but I want to try to work this down to make it more of an implication than a rigid structure that I have right now. So I'm going to warm it up. Warm up the clay, you know, oil-based clay, aromaplastylene. It's got a mind of its own. You kind of got to start to understand how it wants to move. You don't just get to boss it around. You got to understand how it wants to move. So in this case, I put just a little bit of petroleum jelly on there, and I'm working the surface very lightly, just to essentially increase the temperature. Not to move it around yet, just to increase the temperature of the clay. That's the goal right now. This is a pretty interesting area right here. Complex as hell. You have quadratic laborium, which attaches these floating ribs all the way down to the iliac crest. And then you've got the transverse abdominis, the internal obliques, external obliques. And then the biggest and most superficial here is the rector spinae that goes down, and it's simplifying by calling it a single thing. Like the rector spinae is a little obtuse because it's actually hundreds of little muscles, intercostal, intervertebral, actually a better way to put it, intervertebral, tiny little muscles that run at the spine. You can simplify and call it rector spinae. Oh, it's the rector spinae. That's each one of these little vertebrae interlaced with muscular structures. In case anybody out there cares about any of this. A raven. Well, have you looked at my other art, Mr. Undercover? So most of my 2D art, if you go to Beau art, if you just go to my profile on TikTok, I have a lot of ravens in my work. And I have played with raven. Metaphorically or narratively, I want this to come off as something like a bird of prey, but with a tonality of a phoenix. And really the way I'm going to achieve the phoenix, hopefully, is the way her hair, I'm hoping, looks like flames, and have the feathers look like flames coming up on the edges. That's the intention. You guys can be the judge how well I do when I get there. Her wobble. Well, I mean, her wobble is just clay, right? So when I cast this, it's going to be solid. This is going to be solid bronze. There's going to be no wobbling when it's done, when it gets cast. There's only 2 points of contact right now, but it's solid. Like, that's steel. She is held down with steel. Yes, there's a wobbling, but that's because this thing weighs 30 pounds approximately of clay. But she's going nowhere. She is thoroughly secured to this base. And when I'm done, I'm going to go to bronze. So, yeah, she's going nowhere. I earned it. You know, as far as the question about the knowledge of anatomy, I earned it. I devoted. But the way I devoted is first of all, I went to art school in New York, and I studied anatomy as much as I could before then, but then I got there and realized I knew nothing. Worked figuratively, looked at, thousands and thousands of figures, nude models, drew them every day. And then I got the benefit of working at Columbia Medical School, assisting in dissection, which was a good experience to further that knowledge base. I do the question about the favorite clay. I like the aromaplastylene because it's so forgiving. You can kind of get a relationship with it, like I've been doing right now. Like right now, I haven't just jumped in there and said, do what I want you to do. I put a little bit of petroleum jelly on my fingers, and I've just sat here and I've worked it, and I've increased the temperature, right? Knowing full well that what I did, it was going to do what I wanted it to do. So I think Roma is nice because you can develop a relationship with the Roma, right? You can work it and, essentially kind of romance it where you want it to be. That's what I'm doing. Romancing it. I mean, I say bronze, but I hadn't even considered any other alloys. You're right. Just assumed bronze, but yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe another alloy I should consider. I don't know. Platinum. Something like that. That'd be awesome. Hadn't even considered other alloys. See meow. Angelina Jolie. I worked with Angelina one time. What movie was that? I worked on Mr. and Mrs. Smith. So I worked with Angelina on that back in the day, many days ago. Many days ago. Selling your work, please. So, dude, yeah, go to Beau. Go to Beau.art, beau.art, and you can see my 2D art. Totally appreciate any patronage. Not trying to ignore you. Yeah, just go to the website, beau.art. You can see some of it at my profile on ye old TikTok profile. But yeah, there's more stuff on the website too. Yeah, I just want to get prints, like, if you like this, you probably like Medusa. There's a Medusa painting I did that makes a really nice print that you might like. I was born at Columbia. Oh, at the hospital. Nice. Well, I don't know. There's a good chance that I was there before you, but hey, maybe I was there while you were born. But I'm talking about the 90s. Back in the ye old 90s. Ragnarok, that is a rad name. I would not consider myself a New Yorker. I lived there for 4 years. I went to school there. I assimilated to the culture. I think I did okay. I lived in Brooklyn, in Washington Heights area. Went to Pratt in Brooklyn. I don't know that I think when I was there, maybe I probably came off as a New Yorker. But in my heart, probably not. No, I don't think I'm a New Yorker. You were born before the 90s. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Born there before I spent my time in Columbia. Arnold Goldstein, I don't know. But he must be good, Fireman Joe. He must be really good. He must be good. Thank you. I was joking, not necessarily, vying for a little compliment, but I appreciate it. This piece was not a commission. I just kind of dreamed this up out of my little old noggin one day. I don't know if you were around earlier, but I talked about my philosophy of the. Oh. Just saw you over there, Zixies. Thank you. It's been like 20 minutes since you probably posted that. What was the question? Yeah, active observer is my philosophy. I just sit down and kind of zone out, get into the flow. Let the active observer tell me what to do. Or, you know, to quote Fight Club, sometimes Tyler speaks for me. So, sometimes Tyler sculpts for me. How about that for an answer? Underlying structure is, I'm just going to bring it over here and leave it over here so I can grab it more easily. She is suspended in air via 5/16 all thread steel. She's going nowhere. That's what her armature is made of. Strong girl. Very strong girl. Superwoman. Woman of steel. Like the bicep. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I would actually say it's a little exaggerated, you know. Well, at least talk about this bicep. The bicep's interesting because it's not really as simplified as what we think it is. It actually starts on the inside. 2 heads, bicep, 2 seps. One attaches to the coracoid process, so the scapula, and then think about that. The other one wraps up over the humerus, but they both come medially for their origin and wrap laterally for the insertion into both the radius and the ulna. Oh, the back arm. Okay, the back arm. We'll go back here to the back arm. Yeah, I mean the same story, right? Bicep wraps underneath the deltoid up where it inserts, where I just described the coracoid on the top of the humerus. 2 heads coming down, wrapping over, and inserting mostly onto the radius. What was your TT account? Don't know my TT account, but you can, if you just want to see my site, it's beau.art. That'll take you to my website. You can see like mostly everything there's 2D art, 2D painting, some merch, like this cool ass shirt I got on. I'm gonna step back here so you can see it. There you go. Well, kinda. There you go. Screaming Ass Monkey, right? Screaming Ass Monkey is a painting I did. Makes a really cool sweatshirt. I'd pick it up and show it to you, but my hands are all dirty, and I really like that sweatshirt. The white hoodie sweatshirt with Rage Monkey on it is, in my opinion, my favorite. I like that one a lot. I bought it for my kids, bought it for myself, bought it for friends. It's my favorite. You can get, that's also on the TikTok store. I mean, TikTok store. I don't know. I'm trying to grow up here. Parent and an artist. You know what? Of all the difficulties in my life, I think parent and artist are probably not the most hard. Yeah, I like my kids. My kids are pretty damn cool, to be honest with you. I mean, they're teenagers now, so, you know, there was a day when I was like, okay, who's got poopies in their pants? But really at this point, I kind of run the house a little bit like I'm the alpha male in the frat house, and it's just like, yeah, man, we all do our thing. You do your thing, I do my thing, you take care of your shit, I give you respect. You know, you take care of it, and when everybody falls down, when you fall down, you know, I'm still daddy. Daddy takes care of it. But if you don't fall down, you take care of it. And you know, I got 15, 14, and 12-year-olds. I definitely stretch the anatomy, but I let it happen naturalistically. I don't precognate stylization. I just let it happen. I would definitely say like this arm is stylized, this leg is very stylized. A lot of this is stylized, honestly. Like if you were to get a nude model and set her up in a 3D scanner, it really wouldn't look like this. I let the stylization happen. That's tough though, because what's the difference between stylization and misconception and erroneous, what's the difference between bad sculpting or bad knowledge base of anatomy and style, right? You can easily hide. Oh, for fuck's sake, I just got restricted again. Like, god damn, TikTok is a pain in the harness. Yeah, I just got told by TikTok I'm a dirty man and that this is sexual. So, write your senator. It's really annoying that they do that. Thank you, Latina Wisco. So what I normally do when I get flagged as a dirty man by TikTok is I'll let it go a little while, but then I stop and restart the stream. So, and when I do that here in a minute, and you guys that want to come back, I'd definitely love to see you. I keep hitting this leg. This is a very vulnerable leg. I keep hitting with my arm. This is probably the least armatured part of the whole sculpt is that foot. It's not bad, but it's not great. Oil-based clay, yeah. This is Roma Plastilina. So it's oil-based. So I'm using a Roma Plastilina. I'm using a little petroleum jelly when I'm doing the surface details to soften it, but that absorbs, so that's cool. So I could get it soft and warm with with a modest amount of petroleum, but then when I let it sit overnight, that absorbs and it goes back to hard again. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, you want to check out the art, you can see beau.art, beau.art, or just, I think of my TikTok story, you can see stuff as well. If in Yanta. You're into that sort of thing. If you're into sexually explicit art, according to TikTok, then yeah, head on over and take a look. Jerks. I'm going to build this mold. I'm going to do this whole process myself. I'm going to go through the whole kit and squeezle. And I'm going to make a mold. I cast it. I do a first run in resin. And then based on the success of that, do a run in ye old bronze. Although someone earlier was saying, hey, why are you doing bronze? Why don't you do something else? And you're like, you know what? Yeah, why am I assuming bronze? We might play around with some other alloys. I don't know, pewter, titanium, I don't know, something. I like the idea of. I mean, actually, because bronze has a certain color, it might be cool in pewter, right? Thinking about this as like in a steely, cool color. I don't know, do you guys have an opinion? Color-wise? Of the material? I mean, bronze end up being warm, likely, in color. That little patella there. better defined, shall we? You think pewter? All right. I like it. I like your attitude. I've never tried aluminum. I think that's a really interesting and good idea, right? Because it's strong but light. And since this has, I want this to be a very like levitating kind of piece. So she has very limited contact with the base. Aluminum might be the bomb. That might be the thing to do. You might be right on that one. Light and strong. What wine is that? I am chilling out with Cooper Hawk Red Blend. Where is it? Here we go. Get it over here in front of the camera. Yeah, Cooper Hawk Red Blend. Loving it. Was it blackberry? Let's see if I can remember this. I've got a cheat sheet over here. Blackberry, tobacco, vanilla, and black cherry, and pepper. That's what they describe it as. Boom. The great Boombati is partial to the gray material. So you're thinking, so you mean like pewter, dude? When you say gray, or what are you thinking? You like Cooper Hawk? Oh, so you're familiar. Quadricep's doing uncoolness here. Let's see if we can make that be cool again. Now we can be friends again. Pewter, yeah. Go big or go home. I don't know, what does go big mean? Actual silver? Do that. I haven't done any events. I mean, honestly, this is kind of a new endeavor for me. It's been a very personal experience. So no, I haven't done the New York show. I am going to participate in a gallery here in Kansas City fairly soon. We'll open our own gallery, actually. That will be very interesting. I'm looking forward to that. We're going to open a gallery nightclub here in Kansas City that's going to cameo my art. So that will be cool. There will be a lot of online presence of that you'll get to see if you want to, but obviously, yeah, you want to come to it. We'll get you some serious VIP treatment if you want to come to the gallery in Kansas City. Like I said, it's going to be a nightclub / gallery, so during the day it'll be like an appointment-only gallery, like during the day, but during the nights it's going to be like a relatively exclusive nightclub. Lee Summit, close to Lee Summit. Lee Summit's close to here, yeah. The name of this piece is Hand of Fate. That's what I'm naming it. And I spent about 35, or well, actually probably at this point 36 hours on this lady to answer that question. Go big or go home. I like your attitude, Boombody. Sometimes the Boombody speaks for me. Maybe you're my Tyler Durden. Do you actually exist, Boombody? Or are you my Tyler Durden? Did I make you up? Shit, that'd be weird. That'd be a weird thing to do. What's even weirder is like when you don't show up. If I made you up, and if you're my imaginary friend, the nights you don't show up, it says a hell of a lot about me. That's hilarious. If you have an imaginary friend and they don't show up, what's that say about you? You're not talking about me, are you? That's brilliant. I haven't watched Fight Club in a while. It might be time for a screening. Here on the big ass theater I just installed here at the house. Might be time for a screening. Full time. Wow, I don't know. That's a good question. Full time. I don't know. What is full time? Wow. How do I answer your question, Elizabeth? So a year ago, I was in Tokyo, and I was working in autonomous vehicles, making cars drive themselves. And I came. Well, so first of all, I'm American. And so Tokyo is a phenomenally isolating place. So I was in Tokyo for a couple of years, and I've never experienced that level of isolation as I did during that time. So, kind of a hero's journey experience, I, out of desperation, went to find me. Right? I had to find me because I wasn't going to survive that level of isolation. It was literally like being in some kind of weird. They talk about in jail, when you're in jail and you get put in, isolation or something. It's literally like that, except for you're in a city of 35 million people. So out of desperation, I had to find me, and I rediscovered figurative arts while I was there, which is something that's been a big passion of my life, huge part of my life. Working in traditional mediums in art school, and then I worked digital mediums for a couple decades on movies and film. And what the fuck did I do right here? Wow, screwed that up. And so anyway, so I started doing figurative art while I was in Tokyo, and then when I came back to the States, I kept going. Right? Had to keep going. Actually, I need to restart TikTok. I'm sorry. Come back for the remainder of that story. Sorry, come back in a second, please. Okay, we're back. Boombody's just talking. I can feel your disapproving look, Boombody, by the way. Don't think I can't see you. You're my imaginary friend. Of course I can see you. So, anyway, I don't know. I was telling a story, but none of those people telling the story are here right now. So, we'll move on. See if they come back. I think it was Elizabeth who asked that question. So we'll see if Elizabeth shows up. If she does, I'll tell the story. Hello, everyone. All right, let's see. What are we doing here? Let's find our inner self. Let's find out who we are. Let's discover who we are by pushing around some clay, squeezing it between our fingers and finding out who we are in the process. Have you made art today? Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining. Elizabeth, you came back. Yes. So do you want to hear the rest of the story, Elizabeth? Back for the story. Yes. So, yes, I had spent, quick backstory, I went to art school in New York, studied figurative art there and computer graphics. Graduated, went to Los Angeles where I worked in computer graphics, worked on a bunch of movies. My first big film I ever worked on was Harry Potter. I worked on the troll and the centaur. I sculpted their faces, their expressions, the way they looked, express themselves. And then, I had long, good career in visual effects. And then COVID came along, and I left Los Angeles to get out of that world. And I didn't spend quarantine in Los Angeles. Came here to Kansas City, where I grew up. And while I was here, I did a variety of remote things. Worked on the show Wednesday on Netflix, things like that. But then I got a call one day from Toyota asking me to come to Tokyo to work on autonomous vehicles in the user experience group. And that point of that was to create real-time, essentially video games, of autonomous cars, that users could actually drive autonomous cars, be in autonomous cars. We could test the algorithms and that sort of thing. User experience, real-time video games. And so I was in Tokyo for a year and a half. And so while there, I got really lost, I think, as a human, like I'd never experienced before. And it was, there's something wrong, there's something missing. I needed to find me. So that's where I rediscovered figurative art, traditional figurative art, no longer working digitally, but my roots in traditional figurative arts. And so I've been exploring it ever since. So I came back to the States. I left, I decided that I was, well, honestly, to be completely honest, my family, my wife, did not want to come to Tokyo. And I don't think I was selling it as this amazing experience, because honestly, living in Tokyo is not awesome. It's a terrible experience. So, I was not willing to watch my kids grow up from a distance. So I've been flying back and forth on a regular basis to see them. But eventually, it was time to come home. So I came home last summer, and but I realized what I gained from that experience was this reinvigoration of who I am, which is a figurative artist. It's not all that I am, so the only thing I am, but it is what I am. And so I decided to not stop. I don't know. I keep going. That's your question? Then I get some sleep. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Elizabeth, for coming back and asking the question. I'm sorry, let me look back through these scrolls. I've been working on this about 37 hours, we'll say now. Thank you, Mexican Batman. Didn't know there was a El Batman, that's the word. Good to know that Mexico was safe as well. AI-proof art. Dude, yes, exactly. Carlo, yes. That was part of my, I have emotional and just at my essence, I think I am a sculptor beyond, but that's one of the reasons I went from 2D art, drawing and painting, and if you look at my website, you'll see a lot of drawing and painting, to one, I think this exact thing, what we are doing right now, social media, sharing with people, having a experience, one person to another experience, and sculpture is AI proof, right? This is an experience. There's an experience being had where I am connecting with you, first of all. So AI, not ever gonna do that. There's no personal experience of AI. So you and I are having a personal experience right now. That's AI proof. Second, sculpture, AI proof, in that it is a tactile, physical experience, right? So again, AI proof. So you nailed it, and it resonates with me, so I got really emphatic and needed to tell that. Thank you for bringing it up. Magic the Gathering, oh my God. Did you seriously just bring up Magic the Gathering? Holy smoly. Wow, I haven't played Magic the Gathering since 1996. I will say I read that entire, if anything, I think more than playing the game, I read the books, right? I read the game system, because the game system was the goddamn bomb. I think it affected me. And whoever wrote that, I never really researched the authors, was so well read. So well read. In a diversity of topics and subjects, that it was just a pleasure, right? They actually introduced me to a lot of things. I would read that and be like, wait a minute, what was that? What the hell did I just read? And I would research it and realize where they got it from. And I'm like, wow, thank you. I just wanted to thank the creators of that game for broadening my horizon. I'm young at the time. This is the 90s, right? But it was just like, you guys are literally broadening my horizons with this game. So yes, I am very well of magic, very aware of magic. But anyway, yeah. What? Why would you bring it up? Why are we talking about magic? Is that clay? Are you seriously asking me, is this clay? Yes, this is clay. Yeah, you're feeling good. Yeah. Yeah, I think I've put away about one bottle of wine in the last couple hours. Eh. I seem like, that's interesting. I seem like someone who will play. All right, okay. All right, well, all right, I guess you're right. I guess you nailed it. I can't, you're not wrong. Can't argue. Especially after that diatribe. After that boa tribe. Oh, God. What to do? What to do next? What's going to move us forward towards our collective goal? You know what I mean? Where are we headed here? As a species? No. Let's just stick to the sculpture for now. God has not tasked me with solving the species problem. I guess when he's ready, I'm here. Until he's ready to ask me, I'm going to sit here and sculpt things. Nice. Wrestle is life. Hello. Just noticed you, but thanks for coming back, man. Wrestle is life. My oldest son is wrestling. And it's a very interesting experience for me. I was a wrestler. I spent a lot of time doing grappling combat arts. I think I'm learning a lot from him. I do. I actually do think I learn a lot from him as a person, right? He's very different than me. He is enjoying wrestling. He's not obsessed. He wants to win, but this doesn't define him as a human. And so he's just enjoying the process of wrestling without the negative drain of obsessive behavior, which is new to me. I'm obsessive about everything. So I think that's the awesome thing about having kids is when they become humans, right? They're not babies anymore, they become humans. So you can actually start to see them as humans, react to them like humans, and learn from them as humans. It doesn't matter if it's air pockets because this is oil-based clay and I'm going to cast it. I'm not going to fire. This is not a ceramic. This is not a ceramic clay. This is going to get cast and molded into another material. So I'm going to do a resin and then a bronze. So the clay will never become solid. It's oil-based. Some of the clay inside of her is literally 20 years old, which is one of my inspirations for starting this project. Was I found some clay in a toolbox. And I'm like, holy smokes, I haven't sculpted in forever. And here we are. There's literally 20-year-old clay in here. To answer your question. I don't know, I missed your language there, Skybox. All right. Oh, I see the holy schmoly reference. Well, thank you, I appreciate it. I will say that I think that the chat bots are paying attention. So if you guys say just general explicitness like you did, I don't think it matters. But if you say anything sexual, I'm gonna get freaking banned again. So don't, please. Sea nymph. Huh? Well, I mean, her hair is defying gravity, so that would give you an underwater aspect of it. I definitely see that. Yeah. Okay, what to do next? Where to go? What to do? You're not talking about me, are you? Time to engage the active observer. Bring him in. Say, hey man, go to work. When you look at this, what's your first millisecond response? And is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Where do we go from there? Be honest. I like that line from The Matrix. Can I give you a piece of advice? Be honest. He knows more than you could possibly imagine. Hi from Oregon. Thank you. I'm not going to kiln this because it's oil based. So what I'm going to do is cast and mold it. So this is going to become a bronze or some other form of alloy. Had some suggestions earlier, pewter. Someone was actually, one of my more ambitious friends was suggesting maybe even go silver, which would be cool as balls. So I'm going to go with a resin initially, which is kind of like, you know, for practical purposes, halfway between plaster and plastic. And then, but play with after that I'll go with an alloy. So if based on the success of the resin, I will make an alloy, cast, bronze, pewter, something. Or I'll, you know, get challenged by the boom body. Can my masculinity challenge my boom body and go silver? He's still lurking. Love it, man. And I will always love you. Let's see. Roma plastilina clay. That's what kind of clay is. Nordic gold. Nordic gold. Jesus. I don't even know what Nordic gold is. Aging woman. You see her as aging. That's interesting. I love an aging, beautiful aging woman. I mean, I really like beautiful aging women. It's a very refined, kind of unique person. there a central theme to your work? Well, you tell me. What do you think? To fill in the blanks, this is going to be a phoenix. And this, let's see if we can see, find an angle for you. This back here, in her other hand, is going to be a knife. So think phoenix, knife, and then put it together. What do you think? Tell me your thoughts. Rodin. All right. Ragnarok, you've been around for a while. Welcome. How did I get into sculpting? Sheer act of will. It was a Tuesday. No, that's totally. I'm being flippant. I think if you were to ask me what am I, I'm a sculptor. That's who I am. I think I've been denying it. I actually think I've been in a closet. I've been in a sculptor closet my whole life. Who am I at my core? Who's my value? What's my value? To planet Earth, to humanity? I think I'm a sculptor. I think I've been in denial. I've done a lot of things, a lot of trades. Visual effects, animation. I'm an animator. I am an animator as well. Worked on a lot of movies. But I think, my core value, who I am, when do I feel like I am me? Sculptor. Yeah. It's me being me. Not me being somebody else. Play. Okay, I don't have that robust of a story of my history playing Magic the Gathering. I don't. It was just really the books that I read. The systems. Broadened my horizons. It actually got me reading other things, like Aleister Crowley, of all things, was a result of my experience reading magic. And my perception of the world, right? The idea that magic is, again, an Aleister Crowley quote, magic is the art and science of making an environment conform to our will. Magic is Aleister Crowley quote, important in the game, but okay, what do you do with that information? How do you process that? That's what becomes important. That's what was important to me. How do you make your environment conform to your will? Art and science, right? Compound, complex sense. Magic is the art and science of making our environment conform to our will. Complex, right? Art and science. Art. Science. Art is ephemeral. Science by nature is defined as being empirical, meaning that there are essentially the only thing that defines something as science is that it's repeatable via the scientific method. Something that can be done, has been done, and has been proven according to the standards of scientific method as being empirically factual, according to rigor and dictum. Art, which is ephemeral, right? That's something that's inside of us. It's essentially, an experiential art, something that's intangible, ephemeral, but still tactile and real. That's really what the definition of art is, in my opinion. It's ephemeral and can't be non-tactile, or I'm sorry, is ephemeral and is tactile. Ephemeral that can't be grasped but yet can be touched, creating an experience. The Holy Books, I haven't read that. Wow, Ragnarok got it. Cycle of Death and Rebirth. So, okay, I'm going to jump right in. Phoenix. The concept of the Phoenix is reincarnation. However, she's accepting the Phoenix into her hand, and it is willingly perching and landing upon her. The Phoenix generally is a symbol of reincarnation, but it's also this passive thing. You sit and watch the Phoenix. In this case, the Phoenix is coming to her. She's calling it, and it's actively coming. But what could possibly be the knife mean? She's not going to wait for the Phoenix to reincarnate. She's going to literally sacrifice her own bird. She's going to sacrifice her own Phoenix, bringing about her own reincarnation. The reason I call this Head of Fate is because this woman, this figure, this feminine entity, I don't want to call it a woman because that's gender specific, this feminine entity is manifesting who she is going to be by sacrificing her old Phoenix. This is not a passive role. She is literally going to sacrifice herself and this Phoenix to create the new version of herself. But if you look at her face, I'm going to loop this around so you can see it. This isn't an angry face. This is a pleasant face. This is a face saying, you know, I love you, I cherish you, I welcome you, and I'm going to sacrifice you to become the me that I want to be. Recreating herself. So that's what this piece means to me. Self-creation, self-actualization. So back to your Magic the Gathering, yeah, whole lot of self-actualization going on here. Or it's just a pretty cool, you know, sculpture of a naked lady with a bird, which, you know, I'm fine with that too. I don't like that. I do not buy my clay. I buy my clay one at a time. I bought it down at Blick. There's a Blick here in Kansas City that I buy that at. Was that an ankle bracelet? No, that's me being cheeky. I have a, let's see, where's the camera at? I have a microphone mounted to it because I like the pour sound. And I wanted you guys to enjoy the pour sound of the wine. So my ankle bracelet on the wine is literally a microphone. So you guys can participate that sound. What can I say? I'm a thoughtful lover. I'm gonna let you guys listen to the wine as much as I am. What kind of clay? Aromaplastiline. It's an oil-based clay. Oh, okay. Where are we going to go next? What do we do now? It's a good question. What's the most important? Let's ask the the active observer. The active observer inside of us says that they want to see the goddamn bird. That's what's next. And I've really been holding off on delving into birdness. So, no. Oh no. She's not held up like clay. She is held up by 5/16 steel armature that I bent by hand into shape. She's going nowhere. She is very, very solid. Very strong girl, metaphorically and physically. This is not Medusa, although I have done a Medusa recently. I'm calling this the Hand of Fate. There's a Medusa, if you want to go to the site, you can see it, beau.art, beau.art, or you just look at my TikTok profile, you can see a painting I did of Medusa. But this is called the Hand of Fate. This is aromaplastiline clay. That is a really good question. Overdone versus done. Yeah, right. I think when you're trying to, when you feel like you're trying to prove something to yourself or to someone else, you're done. But when you're trying to discover, which I am definitely still in the discovery stage, you are not done. Nowhere near done. Because I am still in discovery. When you're trying to prove something to somebody, you're done. Time to stop. But you're still finding what you're doing, you got a ways to go. Thank you. Where did I learn? I don't know. You're looking at it. It's happening right now. Learning's happening as we speak. I went to college at Pratt Institute in New York. Studied figurative arts there. Been working in movies, Hollywood, for a few decades. But you know, a lot of the time was making money, doing car commercials. I did a fair amount of figurative work, you know, creature work that I loved. I did love. I don't mean to be dismissive. I did love it. First big, you know, movie I worked on was Harry Potter. I worked on the troll and the centaur on that. Wow, I like that you picked up on the blade in the hand. What's one of your favorite precious pieces? I mean, I don't know if you maybe like a piece that I did or a piece that someone else did. I mean, seriously, pick anything by Bernini, and I'm just gonna sit and cry. You know, I went to Rome by myself. It was strange because I went to Bulgaria for a movie, and I had a layover at Rome. This is way back, 2008, I think. And I'm like, I'm in Rome. Holy shit, my entire life I wanted to be in Rome. And I was just on a layover. I literally just got off the plane. I'm like, nope, not today. And I got off the plane in Rome and decided to spend a handful of days there. And so I got to go see a lot of these pieces. You know, of course I'm a huge Michelangelo fan, and I got to see the Pietà, which is freaking awesome. But Bernini is the guy that makes me cry. Bernini is the man. He makes me cry. To answer your question, I think, to answer your question, if that's what you're asking. I hope that other people might feel something like that for what I'm doing. Like, that'd be freaking amazing. How cool is that? You got a wife? I do. I got one of those. I got a wife. I got her at the wife store. I do. I have a wife. A very beautiful one. Huge pain in the ass. Honestly, she kind of looks like this. Not to be weird. Kind of looks like this. Kind of annoying, actually. Means you have to get up in the morning and work out when your wife looks like this. Like, oh, god damn it. Fine, I'll go work out. Yeah. No, she's amazing. She's awesome. Annoying as hell. No, I shouldn't say annoying. That's not the right word. Aggravating. Aggravating as hell. Beautiful one. Can I show the person herself? I don't know. Occasionally she comes down here while I'm streaming, but she's very timid about getting in front of the camera. I don't have anything written up about this sculpture, no. Just literally what you're looking at. This is it. Oil-based, so this will never harden completely. I'm gonna cast this in different materials. I'm gonna start with a resin, and then I'll cast it in bronze or some other alloy as well. It's the hardest work I've done. I mean, you're talking about artistically? I think honestly, working 3D sculpting, I never feel lost. I never feel like I think inherently I'm a sculptor. I'm outing myself in front of you right now. I think inherently I'm a sculptor. I have been in drawings or paintings where it's just like I am lost in the goddamn woods. I don't know what comes next. I don't know who I am. I don't know what I'm doing. Like I literally feel like Hansel and Gretel without any breadcrumbs. Like I am lost. So I would say, you know, in drawing and painting, I occasionally felt lost. You can see some of those. Um, you know what? I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you an abomination. I'll show you a drawing I have. I have literally right here, and it's probably I hate it. I hate this drawing. I don't know why I keep it sitting here. I think so that I can hate. Which camera are we on? Yeah, I hate this drawing that I did. Where are we? Oh, okay, we'll go to this camera. This is a drawing I did, and I hate it. Hate it. Right? I got lost in the woods. And I think maybe I keep it around to remind myself of that being lost in the woods feeling. What it meant to me. I don't know if I'm answering your question or not, but I'm answering it with whatever I answered it with. Somebody drank all my booze. God damn it. I'm gonna get myself a booze refill here. Sorry, everybody. Can't be avoided. Must be done. Can't have a stream without my stream. Is that weird? I said it like that. It's missing the movement in the drawing. Yeah, the movement was the drawing was just static as hell, right? It was just like I think it's because it was so pretentious. It's like I thought I was doing something grandiose, and it just was pretentious and lacked all the things that I value. To basically put it bluntly, yeah. Yeah, it looked good, but it was just superficial, right? You know, like Obbs, right there said, it was just lacking core values of what I like. And actually what I said earlier about, I think I was trying to impress somebody when I did that drawing. I did that drawing thinking I'm gonna show off. I'm so good. And I think that's what that drawing represents to me. I'm showing off. This drawing is so good. It's a piece of shit. It's what it is. Because I was trying to show off. I wasn't being authentic. So I think maybe that's why I leave it on the wall right there to remind myself of the value of authenticity. Does that make sense? There it is. I don't have a plan as far as how many casts of this I make. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna do, you know, one of each. I'll do a resin to see it, and then I'm gonna do an alloy to have it. But I guess, you know, if people are like, oh my God, I have to have that, I'll make more for other people. Otherwise, it'll just be my little sculpture garden here. Although, like I said, I'm actually going to participate in a gallery here, making of a new gallery, so it'll be in there. It'll at least be in that gallery here in Kansas City in the near future. Yeah, I mean the resin shouldn't be that expensive, honestly. Like I don't know what I'll price it at, but you know, I want people to have it. I want people to appreciate it, not just from afar. I probably, you know what I was thinking is I might make some nice photography of this, some nice lighting, and make some cool like images that might be valuable on their own, have value on their own to be reproduced. I don't know. How many years I've been doing this? This is literally the first sculpture I've done in 20 years. I've been working digitally. all along. Right. So this is me kind of like this whole sculpture here, ironically, metaphorically, this is an old girlfriend of mine. This is an old love. This is an old passion that I'm reinvigorating and finding and realizing is of value to me and who I am. How much I love her. I don't mean anything other than to say this side of me, honestly. When I say her, I'm old enough to not get confused anymore. The bird of fate, exactly. So I'm calling this the hand of fate, and this is going to be a bird. I want to get some essence of phoenix in that bird, but you're totally on point there when you say bird of fate. Absolutely, it's exactly the point. Bird of fate. I'm I'm not a fashion designer, and in fact, clothing and cloth is my I don't know, weak point, I guess, or just like my exploratory point. I'm thinking about the way I've got this cloth draped on her. I don't know. I mean, I really, in the past, I hate clothing. I feel like I have Barbie dolls. No, like I'm just not gonna do that. I think nude is far less profane. You know, I think partially clothed is profane. Nude is not profane. So I'm wrestling here with this, but I'm also engaging in like there's some of my inspiration. Antonio, what's his name here? Antonio, I can't remember his name. Antonio, oh, he's so good. I mean, obviously Bernini is one of my favorites. What is this guy's name? La Poducio. Yeah, he's always been a big inspiration of mine, but I never could pronounce his name. Anyway, trying to engage in this new version of like, okay, let's find some new limitations. Let's not constrain ourselves with old limitations. New limitations. Right. Yeah. No. Thank you. Yeah. I'm trying to. Like. I mean, honestly, this is my fucking maiden voyage into drapery and cloth. So, thank you for that feedback. But I'm still thinking about it. Like, what have I? What do I want to do about it? I'm not a fashion designer. Thinking about that cloth coming up and around, and I don't know. I kind of started going with this choker, and I think I'm gonna. You know what? I think I'm gonna stick with it. I like the idea of this wrapping around, going up and around her left breast and around her neck, and forming this knot. Actually, I'm really talking myself into it. I love these little talks we have. Really talking myself into this. There we go. Let's do that. Let's raise that. There we go. Create a little tension. Give it a do. Lower that. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Okay. Nice. So actually, I don't know, are you a David Lynch fan? Are you a Twin Peaks, Fire Walk with Me? This is called, I've been working, least working title, Hand of Fate. Please, Jesus Christ, don't feel dumb for nerding out. I mean, I don't know. You're making me sad. I don't want you to feel dumb. I want you to feel smart. I feel like this is a emotional slash intellectual piece. So I hope you feel smart for your engagement. Otherwise, then I feel dumb. If I feel dumb and you feel dumb and we're all dumb, shit. Now what? We're all dumb. Let's let ChatGPT do our thinking for us. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't really know. I actually don't spend any time on TikTok. I actually don't know what other people are doing. I don't know what, you know, the norm is. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be worth it. So we're gonna have a gallery here in Kansas City that we're gonna open soon. Soon, by like I mean by that next 6 months. So it'll be there if you're into that. Do the bottom lips right now. I mean, yeah, bottom lip could use some work. Is that what you mean? I don't know. Is that being critical? What are you gonna say? Name of this piece is gonna be Hand of Fate. Or is, I shouldn't say gonna be, it freaking is. God, I love this soundtrack. Old David Lynch. It's freaking awesome. And there it is. I just got banned by TikTok. Not banned, but explicitly sexual. Not as eligible for recommendation and restricted in search results because your live does not comply with the For You feed standards under community guidelines. Reason: semi-nudity, significant body exposure. Yeah, this platform is really starting to annoy the living crap out of me. Yeah, for God forbid we have art on your frickin' social media platform. So usually what happens when that happens is that there's a slow diminishment in people that are following, which is fine. You know, it's late. We'll just ride this out for a little while and then I'll fold it up. Why does it keep fitting to different perspectives? I don't know, because I programmed it to. I don't even know what you're asking me. It's not an accident. It's very intentional. Well, good night, Dr. Wren. Thank you for coming. New Jersey. Red Rock, thank you for joining. I totally appreciated your contributions, your time, your gift of you, which, if you were around earlier when I was talking about that, my assessment is the number one gift anyone can give to anyone else is themselves and their time. And you gave me, and you gave us in this community, some of you tonight, so thank you. Hope to see you again. I'll be doing this again, assuming TikTok doesn't shut me down. I will do it again. Until the point that TikTok decides it doesn't want art on its frickin' platform. Jagasses. Appreciate that. Thank you. I'm definitely not going to color it. I will cast it in a couple of materials, but specific coloring, no. The old lady, Raffaello Monti. No, I'm curious. Actually, I'm going to type this in right here. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes, I am familiar with that work. The Veiled Lady. It's fucking gorgeous, right? Goro Sensei! Welcome back. Welcome to Fantasy Island. Sorry, dude. Sorry, this is a challenge for you to get back. I don't know. I don't understand this ecosystem. Sorry, it was hard. Yeah, the Veiled Lady, dude, that's awesome. Big fan. Big fan of that work. Inspiring. So I am definitely pulling from that in this piece. Right up to the point that TikTok decides I'm a perv and tells everybody not to watch me. But yes, I'm annoyed at TikTok right now. Go like one of his videos so you can get back quicker. Oh yeah. I guess that's, yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, Koro's even sent me DMs, so I'm not sure what the problem was. I like your point. I like your point. Don't let it bring it down while you're bringing us up. What's up? There's something valuable in your words. Yeah. It is easy to find reasons to be down. I like your whole thing there, dude. I like your response, like what you're saying. I'm not sure this exact song. This might be an Badalamenti. I think this is Badalamenti, and I think this is the Twin Peaks Firewalk with Me soundtrack. I think, but I'm not sure. Realize this is in the wrong place. I'm going to remove that. That's not where that belongs. The active observer says no. Reference to our earlier dialogues. Down there. Do I miss David Bowie? I honestly, I will say, I think I've learned to appreciate David Bowie even more so after his death than during his life. I think I had some select David Bowie, like, yeah, that's the bomb. I like that. But I don't think I ever really was like a Bowie guy until after his death. And that's when I really started paying more attention and realizing, you know, the value that he really brought to humans, right? He brought value to us. We got value from our Bowie experience. And I don't think I really appreciated that during his life as much as I could have. I mean, I don't think it really mattered. You know, for me personally, it's like, well, I can appreciate his work after he's dead too. But yeah, I think I've had a growing Bowie-ness. Wasn't there before? I am Bowie curious, as it were. Mortis. I mean, of course, I always know who he was. I'm always familiar with his work. When I was in Tokyo, one day I listened to the song "I'm Afraid of Americans." When I literally walked across all of Tokyo. I mean, we're talking like it was probably a 30-mile walk across Tokyo, and I just listened to "I'm Afraid of Americans" during that entire walk. I get to really think about it, right? I don't know what he intended by it. Sure as hell don't know. I don't even really care what Trent Reznor thought or cared about. But I think I pontificated on all the alternate versions of that phrase, or of that song, all the lyrics of that song. And I walked across Tokyo, many, many miles. It was a couple of years ago. Gaze. Wow. So I don't know if you're intending this or not, but one of the paintings on my site I named Gaze. And so now that you said the word gaze, I would invite you to go take a look at this picture I named Gaze and tell me what you think of it. It's of a black woman holding a dove. Please go take a look at it unless you're already referencing it. Yeah, no, please go look at it. Please go look and come back. I will wait. The class will wait. Please go look. Either at my profile on TikTok or just my website, beau.art. Go look at Gaze. Black woman holding a dove. I want to hear your feedback because you said gaze and now you must do it. Thanks, dude. I'm gonna keep calling you dude. I'm assuming you're a dude. I think you're a dude. I'm just gonna call you dude because I think dude is a gender neutral reference at this point. So everybody's dude. From this point forward, you just need to know you're dude. So thanks, dude. Okay, so I really did it a little bit. What am I going to do with that? That could be interesting if I do what? You like it? Jofasa? Jofasa. It's like Mufasa from Lion King. Jofasa. You like it? Please give me feedback. One that is beautiful. Thank you. I love that you think it's beautiful, but give me feedback. How does it make you feel? How does it make you feel to look at the picture? Exactly my name description. Thank you. Feels like a 90s magic card. I'm gonna go with thank you, considering you said that right record. I know you're gonna mean that in a positive light. What to do with my girl here next? I don't know. I'm a little lost. Gotta incubate some inspiration for my next move. Gotta incubate. 100% positive. What? 100% positive. Sound like a salesman. It's hope, right? It is hope. You're not wrong. So I didn't have a plan when I made that picture. It just, again, just kind of happened, kind of like this. Just started doing stuff, and then there it was. In the dove's eye, you see the hope. Yeah. The way she's holding the dove, in my opinion, like the way I feel about it, it's like she's assertive, she's holding it. She's not captured it, but she is holding it. I don't know if you've ever held a bird like that, but it's like, it's almost like you're cradling them to make them feel secure, but you hold them firmly. Like they feel safe from a firm grip. And that's kind of, I think, what I was going for there, is that giving the dove the sense of safety by giving it a firm grip, and she's holding it. But then if you look at her face, I mean, this woman has been through a lot, right? And some shit's happened to her, and she's persevered. She's still holding the dove. She has persevered. I guess, you know what, ultimately, I'm trying to get a little self-reflection. I think this is a transition where hope isn't leading you, you're leading hope. I feel like this woman owns her own hope. I feel like this woman owns hope. She owns her own hope. She's grasping it and holding it and owning hope, owning her own hope. Hope isn't something that she's blessed by. Hope isn't a gift. Hope isn't, an angelic figure being brought down upon her. She's literally gripping her own hope. She's holding her own hope. But she's not naive. She's been through it. She has suffered the slings and arrows of adversity. And still has hope, but it's hope that she holds in her hand. Right? She demands justice, yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, I'm just kind of diatribe there, but yeah, that's what it's about for me. Thank you for looking. Give me your feedback. Again, like I was saying earlier, I mean, the biggest gift you can give me is you. So by even going to the website and looking at it and giving me feedback, you just literally gave me a little bit of you. So thank you. It's the biggest gift you could give me, is a little bit of you. Thank you. Yeah, well, I think it took courage for you to share. Yeah. I think I need to recollect my thoughts. I'm getting to the point that it is bird time. I have got to get into this bird. Maybe, actually, you know what? It's Thursday night. I usually take Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. And so Monday night, I'll be back. And it's bird time. We're all one. You're absolutely right. Yeah, Monday night is bird night, right? You can hold me to it. Please come back, check me out. Well, actually, that was a lame-o phrase. Please come back Monday night because I appreciate your input. Hello, de Villere, anime? Yeah, thanks, dude. Soul of, I'm going to read that aloud. She's holding the soul of the alpha man that mistreated her. Now she has her power over him. Change his fate. Your art tells me many stories, gives a lot of emotions. Sorry, I took a bit. The ad was going on. Oh yeah, there was an ad going on. Thank you for input. I mean, you definitely interjected yourself into that story, which is awesome. Thank you for doing that. I mean, obviously I'm coming from my perspective and what my internal feminine is. When I create a feminine character, it's my feminine. But I am creating it for you. I'm creating it so that you can do exactly what you just did. And thank you for giving me you just now. Thank you for giving me that. No, I did not see. Okay. Did you see my point about Harbinger? No. What was your point about Harbinger? Dude, I want to like not acknowledge. I want to acknowledge. Thank you for thinking it's captivating. You're actually touching my heart. I'm trying not to cry right now. This is be like acting distracted because I'm trying not to cry. So thank you for giving me you just now. Did someone just ask me about the alligator? Thank you for the complete segue. Yes, there's an alligator back there. No, I would love to hear your feedback about Harbinger, though. Like, Harbinger is a completely different piece, right? Very different piece. Yeah, if you want to bring up your point about, are you still in the stream? Matthew Street. Yeah, no, you're still there. Yeah, bring up your point about Harbinger again, because I would actually like to. I like that piece too. It's a very different piece. So I'm curious about your perception on that. Oh, okay. It's very cool but uneasy. All right. I mean, what do you think about it? What does it mean to you, Harbinger? I think of Harbinger as like the future looking back. You know, I think of the Harbinger as being, you know, that's you someday. That's the wiser version of you. That's you at the end of life. When I look at Harbinger, I think that's me at the end of life looking back at me. What do I have to say to me? What does me 50 years from now have to say to me? That's what I think of with Harbinger. It's like he's just, I know the answers, and I can't give them to you. Yeah, there are better. So so the Twitch, the Twitch and the YouTube video stream is a little bit better than TikTok for sure. Weird. Yeah, so I'm on YouTube. I have zero traction on YouTube. But yeah, I'm on YouTube. So you can actually see you can see everything I've done on YouTube, like going back to I started in September, I think. You can see all of my cringy streams going back 6 months now. I've only been doing this 6 months. You can see them all. You can go all the way back and see all my cringy streams going back to the beginning on YouTube. I was not thinking about Manson when I did Harbinger, but you're absolutely right. Yeah, I totally see your connection. That there's a little bit of creepo going on, a little Manson style creepo. I think that's why, honestly, I think that's why Manson captivated people, is because I think Manson was an idiot, honestly. But he had this something about him made people project way more depth than he actually had. And so I think looking at Manson, you're like, oh my God, there's depth there, but whatever depth he had was your projection of depth upon him. I think he was a moron. but you project a depth upon him. And so, I mean, maybe that's indicative of the Harbinger theme of the depth you project upon it. Absolutely. YouTube called, so I had a little bit of a problem with the naming. So YouTube channel's Beau in the Dark TV with underscores between the words. So BEAU underscore IN underscore THE underscore DARK underscore TV. And yeah, you can see every embarrassing thing I've done for like 6 months. It's an embarrassing shit out there. Bombadi, if he's still alive, will attest. He's witnessed like 5 of those 6 months of embarrassment. Yeah, I like your Rasputin reference, absolutely. True, yeah, Bombadi's still on and still mocking me. True that. Dumbassery. Yeah, Bombadi has witnessed Doomassery. Doomassery, not dumbassery, Doomassery. For like five out of the 6 months I've been doing this. Bombadi's been watching me act like a retard. Uh-oh, I just said the naughty word. I get flagged every time I say that on TikTok as hate speech. The R word, as it were. Even though I'm referring to myself. They call it hate speech. Whatever. Anyway, it is super late, everybody. It's really pretty, I feel very gifted. I feel very gifted by you people for bringing me you, giving me you tonight. Thank you for giving me the gift of you tonight in your presence and your feedback. I mean, Christ, this is amazing to have people from all over the world choosing to be here. To spend their time with me, to give me the gift of them and talk about this, like, it's freaking awesome. So, you guys are awesome. I love you. I love that you're here. Love that you're continuing to be here. I love that you give a crap about what I'm doing in the dark. It's fantastic. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I'm looking forward to the next time. So I'm going to probably take the weekend off, maybe do a little bit of, hopefully, improvements to my system, and get a couple things done. I'm going to go meet with my business partners tomorrow about the art gallery nightclub. And I'll be here Monday night again. So 9 to 12 approximately Central. Monday night, we'll do it again. So thanks so much. I love you guys. I love you guys. I'm trying to, I feel like I want to give somebody a hug and there's nobody here to hug. Now I'm sad. There's nobody to hug. I'm going to go hug my wife while she's asleep. She's be like, okay, thank you. Love you. Air hug. Exactly. So yeah, Monday night, come back. We'll do it again. Love you. Good night, everybody.